What do you make of the import restrictions the federal government is placing on some imported items? How does that fit into the trade facilitation agreements?
I think for the manufacturers that have put their requirements, they've come through the ministry. We make a list as that when they come, we submit to CBN and we try to mediate for them to try to access the funds that they need. The funds are not readily available, but on a need basis, they can access some of their funds. So that's the role that we're playing right now. But we're in continuous discussions with the Federal Ministry of Finance, and I know there's a small committee that the Chief of Staff is also spearheading, and able to create this coherence that we keep saying between the monetary and fiscal policies.
Now, you talked about the committee where the Chief of Staff would also be having an input. When is that coming up?
Hopefully soon.
Tell us more about this trade facilitation agreement in which Nigeria ratified at the World Trade Organization.
Well, the ratification of the trade facilitation agreement is going to enhance our capacity, particularly where our SMEs are, because in that agreement we have access to capacity building, you have access to technology transfer, you have access to the backward integration that we did. We can now encourage manufacturers of products to come into the country and build up factories within. So there's so many opportunities for us, and then we have the ability to also improve on our competitiveness. There's capacity building for our competitiveness of our products, so that when we produce goods, we can go and sell in the international market.
Now, Nigerians would like to know more about the gas-free zones that the federal government is coming up with.
From what we've seen, that there will be more activity in that sector, and he has plans to set up another one in Akwa Ibom. So they've commenced discussions on that. It's been a sector that the one that I have seen, I've personally visited, is the one I've seen in One. We have over 200 different companies there, but they've not been very active. But he has plans to resuscitate them, he has plans to revive them, and to increase foreign direct investment. Again, the One one which I've seen has grown into a three-phased free zone. So you have the phase 1, the phase 2, and they're working on the expansion of phase 3. If we get it right this time, I think there's a lot of potential when it comes to oil and gas free zones, a lot of potential.
Let's talk about social infrastructure now. The federal government is planning a 650 billion naira intervention. Could you tell us the details of this package?
Social investment is the social intervention program that is being run by the president. What it is that federal government is keying into different sectors. We have the Empower project, where you have the you have the Empower, which is to do with power. You have the social for extension workers. We also have for the market women. We also have generally programs to empower women. And then we have, for the youths, I think apart from Empower, we have another N something which I can't remember right now. But basically, it is to empower with skills. You train them with certain artisanal skills, and then they go out and they're earning basic minimum. And then for the extension workers, it's for us to be able to have extension workers back on our farms. And then teacher, that's the other one that I couldn't remember, so that we could have good quality education. So people who have graduated from university are now being retrained as teachers to go in and teaching in schools. And the school feeding program is another one that we have, which has yielded some success, but now it's also having some teething problems. So we've gone back to the drawing table to see what we're doing. We also have the conditional cash transfer, where we're doing the 5,000 to the poorest of the poor. This is just to invest in the people, for us to have, for them to have more money in their pockets and income.
Many economic experts have pointed towards the growth of the MSMEs, the micro, small and medium scale enterprises, as the way forward for economic growth. But right now we have 37 million of these micro businesses in the country. So what are your plans to stimulate the growth of these MSMEs?
Again, the federal government is trying to create the enabling environment for them because the potential there is so high. if 36 million enterprises are able to employ one more person, then you can imagine the number of employees that will be taken into that sector. We're very happy now that His Excellency, the acting president, has taken this up and is going on a tour on his micro, small and medium enterprises clinics. And those clinics, he will attend 6 of them in each of the geopolitical zones. And in those clinics, he will interact with the SMEs and then with all the regulatory agencies. So you have a SON, you have the Bank of Industry, you have NAFDAC, where the challenges will be addressed. What we hope is that by the end of this, we will come back and sit at the drawing table and be able to draw up an SME policy that would. So if, for example, a NAFDAC is saying it takes you 2 years, why should you take 2 years? If CAC is saying you can't open a bank account with a business name, why? So that we should be able to address some of these issues for our businesses to thrive, so that we can formalize. Those 36 million businesses that you have are not all formal. And if they're not formal business, then they do not contribute to the GDP. And we need to get them to contribute to the GDP. But we also have to be able to have what we're giving them, so that they will be happy to formalize their businesses and run proper ethical businesses, so that we have the proper impact in the society that we do.